Saved.
There you go.
Recording.
I think we're ready.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. We had a little technical difficulty there, but that's the new and improved way. So welcome to the Jackson County Board of Supervisors meeting for Tuesday, August 13th of 2024. With me today, I have Don Schwenker,
Morning.
Lynn Flegel, myself, Mike Steinis, are your county supervisors. Lisa here is from the audit, she's our county auditor. Luann is our executive assistant over in the back. And Mary is here from the media. And first on our agenda today is Todd Keeney and Jaden Shekel for our engineer report. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning. First, items on the agenda are utility permits, and two of them, both of them are for Macocata Valley. It's just two locations. Along 296th Avenue and 150th Street, or also known as E17. All they're doing is replacing some poles, and in those sections where they're replacing poles, placing some new ones to shorten their spans. It's on an existing overhead line, so just routine maintenance work on both of them. It's big for both locations.
I assume this is both on one request, is that correct, or do you need separate?
They could be as the same, it's just two permits for each location, but same exact work.
Motion to approve both locations, 296th Ave and 150th Street.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve Macocata Valley Electric Co-op utility permits as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried.
Next is an entrance permit, another geo permit, entrance permit that was submitted. On 24th Street, South Fork Township, section 26, it's for Scott Sherman. That met site distance, 500 feet both ways. This one with the terrain. We're gonna look at creating a standard detail for driveway installation, like coming off of the road, at a certain slope to have a low point in your driveway to keep drainage from coming to the road, and then the maximum grade that the maximum incline that the driveway can have within the right of way. After it gets outside the right of way, it can be at whatever grade, but it's just, see, we get a lot of these where it seems there's steep driveways that want to drain to the road, so it's kind of want to create a standard drawing of it.
So we don't have a standard.
Not to the extent that
Actually,
it should,
I think
you know.
my contractor had called you, but then we also called the DOT and they give us their percentage of slope within X amount of feet. I can't say what it was.
And the DOT does have standards that they use, so we would do something very similar.
Yeah.
Just so
I think
that,
it's a good idea, because actually when I very first started, there was a complaint about a driveway that is that way, that it drains onto a hard surface road, and there's actually a low spot there somewhat, so it does get some icing and da. So I think it's a great idea.
so, but that's just a side note for this permit, but so this permit met site distance, don't see any issues with it, so, we recommend approval.
You said resident, you said field, right? But this says residential.
It's residential. It's,
Okay.
yep, gonna build out there.
Have a motion and a second to approve the entrance permit for Scott Sherman as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carried.
Give an update on projects, Y61 paving, the asphalt is all done, pavement markings are done on the asphalt. Ride's really smooth, I don't know if any of you've got a chance to drive the asphalt yet. Right now, they have the concrete tore out for that intersection at 62. Weather cooperating, they are hoping to have that paved this week. But then there's cure time, and then they'll have to pour the fillets and do shouldering along that, so still from final completion, we're probably a few weeks out yet, but the closure won't be for.
Okay, so is that road completely closed for 2 weeks yet then, or how does that
Just
work?
the intersection is completely closed.
Okay,
So, detour signage is all put up for traffic, so that way they know which.
so even after cure time, will there be an option of driving on the shoulder there to the other? No.
Once
Okay.
they get the main line have cure strength, that's when they'll likely open it up and they'll cone off their fillets as they pour those back, but
Okay.
Looks like there's quite a bit of rain this week that could complicate things.
it could.
Actually, we're needing some rain again. Like I said, I was down there 17th Street last night, but yeah, it was dusty.
184th Avenue Bridge, the one south of town, we have a pre-construction meeting this Friday for that, and Dan's Schrader's hoping to start that here at the end of August, beginning of September. So, and then after that, go right into day labors.
How many day labor bridges do you guys have scheduled this year? Or three?
Retrieval process, we got 2 crews running, one crew is over concentrated in the Preston, Sterling area, and the other crew is concentrated towards the Bellevue, Lamont, St. Donatus area. So. Trying to play a little bit of catch up, we won't fully get caught up, but.
I had several comments on Seaworth Ridge, and they really appreciated what you were doing and what they were doing, and they thought the guys did a real nice job up there.
Yeah,
Got some compliments on it.
that was one of the 2 roads that yet left this year that we wanted to try to tackle. The next one being South Gary Owens Road. Is those 2 are just higher traffic, wider, flat roads that just in real dire need of it. So one out of the 2 is completed of our revised goal.
Good news. Hope we got a little time yet.
Anything other?
I bumped into a gentleman last night by the name of Don. He came in here and was talking about the intersection and overgrowth of 559th and 17th Street, 559th Avenue and 17th Street, and it's growing back. He said, so he appreciated the work done, but he goes, it's growing back, and I looked at it and it is, and actually 559th, it does have quite a bit of growth on the east side, so I don't know, I don't know if it's on the immediate pressing issue is, if we continue with the clearing right of ways, but that would be something to look at least that intersection again.
Okay.
Any questions for Todd or Jaden?
Subject. Oh, yeah, we had Denko come in to do some mud jacking last week where we got paved routes where due to settlement or other issues that, you get the dip in them, so they drill holes into the slab and pressure grout down into them to mud jack the slab back up to a smoother ride. So hand picked a few locations for them to do, and those were completed last week.
Where might they be,
One is on E17 between Andrew and 61, right before 242nd Avenue. There's some guardrail where above a box culvert. That was one location. 3 of them were on Bellevue Cascade Road from between Cottonville and Delaney's. And then a couple of them were on Centerville Road on the far west end of Centerville. Can't think of an address to give you a rough location.
And I think I figured out what the scrape marks were. I thought you were grinding the high spots down. I think it was just from the blade when they did the shoulders. That just made them marks. It looked like the high spots, when they blade the gravel off they bring the shoulder gravel back in and it's on the road for this much or normally this much. We talked about a brush about that too. I mean, I had some guys actually complain about it. Sometimes there's a lot of material left on the road, I should say.
Yeah, and Jade and I talked about that, and I gave him some information about the last time we bought one in Clinton County, that our front mount broom that mounts on the front of a dump truck, so.
And you like it, use it a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have one? I thought we did have one.
We have a self-propelled broom, those are a little harder to.
What kind of speed is on that? Really?
About 20 miles.
Not as fast as you can with a dump.
Yeah, but your tractor ain't doing much more than that, really, Is it? No, I wouldn't think. The tractor in front of it's not really doing much work.
The thing with the front mount broom is just an attachment. It goes on the
Sure.
same way a plow does. And the only thing you have to do is provide a little extra hydraulics up front, otherwise it's,
Yeah.
I would say it's a little handier to use.
And then if you do have multiple crews doing the edge rutting, you can jump from spot to spot.
Sure. I mean, that was just hearsay from a local resident that thought it would be a good idea, but. And sometimes there is a large amount of material left on the road.
I know they've
On
been
the smoothest of the
doing that.
surface of the road sometimes.
With all the pickups that we have, a lot of the stations have pickups. Are there front mount rooms for pickups at all, or does it have to be per dump truck?
I think based on the weight of them, you might be able to get a smaller one on a pickup, but I don't know if you'd want a full size one. I think the one we have is either a 6 or 7 foot wide broom, so it's it's substantial. It's quite a bit of weight up front too. I don't know, you could look at a pickup, but I'd probably stay with one that goes on a dump truck.
Mhm.
I'll check
Otherwise,
it
it's
out.
just another guy that's gotta be out there with another piece of equipment instead of being in a dump truck.
And they've been doing that in anticipation of and they do this prior to our annual pavement markings they get done, do the edge rutting and all that, so that way. Any scraping, it's not done on the fresh new pavement markings.
Is that cam line that's coming?
I don't know when, we don't know when they're coming yet, it's usually in September.
They're supposed to be coming. Not this, possibly next week in Clinton County, so I'm guessing maybe they would roll back, because they're doing ours in Clinton County as well.
Just out of curiosity. And I noticed this thinking back when with the city, it always seems like they do pavement markings in the fall, right before they get covered up with snow and scraped off. Why aren't they done in the spring so you can see them all summer? Just a curious question.
When you have all the rain, it makes it hard to see,
You know, the city does it in the fall, they're doing it right now, and they do it right before the snow comes and covers them up. And then you come along with your snow plows and you scrape them up really bad, and in the spring, everybody says they're bad. Why don't we do it in the spring where you have most of the summer where you get the more visibility before you scrape them all up? That's just a question.
There's a minimum pavement temps you have to have to spray, to put the paint down. So some of that is environmental related, but you could stipulate that you want them sprayed, say in like
June.
April or May or something when the temperatures are, but you're gonna pay more for that. The way it's budgeted, I know, is like if you want to get on a spring schedule, you'd either have to budget twice the amount for 1 year,
Or just not do it
or
this
just
fall.
wait another 6 or 8 months and then do it,
If we waited the fall to spring. Most of the time they're covered up in the winter anyway, so it's not like you're losing.
We're scraping the snow off.
Nah.
I appreciate that all.
What are you saying, Don?
You know, but there's a lot of times where there's that little skim layer, whatever, that was just a question, because the city does the same thing.
I would say if you want, you could, the next time you go out for request for quotes, just do it the same, but say you want it done by June 30th or something. And then say you're gonna pay after July 1. That way you could still budget for it in the next fiscal and get it done 2 or 3 months, 4 months earlier.
I didn't know if there's a reason why, or it's just convenient, it's a low point in their schedule, or it just, I mean, it isn't just us. It seems like this,
Yeah, so
literally, they're paving
Everybody,
streets
yeah.
right now.
there's like 2 main contractors that do this annual maintenance line painting, and they go all over the state, so they have a big schedule, and I guess they just kind of, you fall where you fall, but you could stipulate when you want it done, you might pay a little bit more, but you could
Okay.
stipulate it.
But I mean,
Yeah, because my guess would be, obviously, if they're teaming up when they're doing Clinton County or whatever, you don't have maybe quite the travel time that they would be including into their.
Yeah, I think, like I said, you could always stipulate when you want it done by, but you're gonna pay more for it.
So I think the state just did maybe 62 or 64 here recently too.
They got their own paint truck,
Right.
Do they?
yeah.
well,
They just put new rumble strips on 52 south also, Bellevue, I noticed.
Yeah.
Safety rumble center and side.
That's later in the day,
That should be next.
so.
Any more questions? Concerns? Compliments? They ain't gonna get none.
Yeah.
I
Everybody.
would like to thank our guys that are out there doing the retrieval, you know, we got 2 crews, so it's taken all the department to keep things rolling with that right now, so I just
Yeah.
wanna give thanks to all of them.
We do appreciate that. And like I said, I have not had any complaints, but I did have some compliments and I passed that along. They asked me to pass that along and I said I would, so.
It's a big undertaking. What they're doing out there, mile after mile after mile after mile, it's a big, it's not, it's easy to talk about, but it takes a lot more to get it done in the field.
Well,
So
plus
traveling
you're trying to
7th,
coordinate it. with
traveling
the rain.
17th Street last night is it? Maybe are we taking a little less from the side and coming in? Like we did last year, maybe got too much in some places, but.
Well, I was thinking, the times I've been out and taking pictures of the different roads, yes, we are doing, we're not doing as much grading of the foreslope. We're supposed to just retrieve the shoulder and not really get into the foreslope, and from what I've seen, we're doing a much better job. of doing that.
Yeah.
17th Street did get a little narrow in a couple of.
Well,
This is
it
a
got,
bad, very
it-
bad cross section. I mean, it was built not well, put it that way.
and for some reason it gets a lot of traffic. And you can go a mile north and travel a hard surface and they go up the gravel, but. Yeah, looks good though. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, is there any visitors or citizens via either online or present that I don't see that would like to approach the board this morning?
Okay.
Seeing or hearing none, we'll move on to Becky Chapman, our Director of Human Resources for her business. Good morning.
Morning.
Are you joking?
No, you're good.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well,
Separate conversation.
separate conversation, kind of. So in the absence of having a full-time county engineer here since 2022, we have contracted with Clinton County for engineering services. Over the last almost 2 years, we have had an assistant county engineer on staff, Jaden Shekel, and he is ready to assume the position of county engineer. So pursuant to Iowa Code 30917, the board fixes the term of employment for the county engineer, which cannot exceed 3 years, and it historically has been accomplished through an employment contract. We have drafted an employment contract, and I have gone over it with Jaden, and the board has had a chance to review that as well. So unless we have any further discussion on the actual contract itself, I would ask for a motion to approve the employment contract with Jaden Shekel as the Jackson County engineer effective September 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027. At a starting salary of $130,000, increasing to $135,000 effective March 1st, 2025, including authorizing the county auditor to issue biweekly paychecks for the same.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the county engineer contract as explained and presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Welcome aboard, Jane.
Perfectly. No excuses. No excuses
Public
anymore.
phone
Yeah, I give anybody credit that wants to put their phone number out there.
And then that does, that promotion creates a vacancy in the assistant position that we have here that Jaden will be vacating. We do recommend continuing to contract services with Clinton County for consulting services over the next year, give us a chance to fill the assistant position. We have done this in the past, just as a consulting agreement with Clinton County using Ty Kenny as the county engineer. So I would ask for a motion to approve the agreement with Clinton County as presented effective September 1st, 2024 through August 31st of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second to approve the contract agreement with Clinton County for engineering services. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
So Jaden, did you get Todd's new business card stating assistant engineer yet, or?
I got Stacy make one up.
We'll have something a little better to put on it. Let's think about that for a little bit.
County engineer?
We are signed up for,
Go tell me.
are you,
No, the
No,
only
we're-
question I had, which I was gonna stop over, was I think we have to do the resolution for you to accept the farm market funds. The last one we did was for that, so they can bring that. I think we have to do a resolution with the DOT for Jaden to be the one to be able to accept farm to market funds and state aid. And they can bring that in next week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you all gotta put your name and sign your signed dotted line, but we are actively still advertising for assistant engineer.
So it's out on the web and it's out on like ISAC and things like that. It's not currently in the newspaper. I think Jaden's gonna head out. Are you gonna head out to a couple of job fairs here at?
Yeah, Platteville, we're gonna hit Platteville's career fair in early September, so only a month away.
And then we'll kind of determine if we want to make another push out there for advertising
Sure.
in some of the larger cities.
I mean, just so the public knows that we still are short-staffed and we have a good working agreement with Todd and we sure appreciate that, which we have in the last couple of years. And so we're being really efficient with it also, so, mindful of cost and, getting the job completed and we have a good, rapport and relationship and I hope to keep that up, you know, even in the future that, both of these guys are assets to us, so.
Yep, definitely. And I did talk to Todd a little bit about, so the agreement that we have with Clayton County will basically be on demand between the board and Jaden. We have just recently, over the last year, tried to get our safety committee back up and running, and Clayton County just went through that 2 years ago, and he's been very instrumental in kind of guiding that process, so. We meet every other month, and Todd and I did talk about him still coming up for those meetings until we kind of get a little more settled and back on the ground with the committee, so we'll probably have him come to those next couple of meetings too, so.
Appreciate it.
All I have.
Thank you.
Right.
Welcome, Jaden.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa?
This morning, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the August 6, 2024 board proceedings as written by Auditor Smith and authorized publication in the official newspapers. So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the August 6th, 2024 board proceedings as written and publicized in official newspaper. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Need a motion to approve and authorize the auditor's office to issue warrants in the publication of the claims listing in the amount of $259,649.55. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the claims as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed. Motion carried.
Need a motion to approve the renewal of a special Class C retail native wine license with outdoor service to the Tabor Family Winery LLC at 3570 67th Street Baldwin, effective August 7th, 2024 through August 6th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the renewal of a special Class C retail native wine license with outdoor service to Tabor Winery as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed. Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve setting a public hearing date of September 3rd, 2024 at 10 a.m. for a fiscal year 25 budget amendment. So moved.
Second.
We're just setting the public hearing date. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Motion set, a motion and a second to set the public hearing date for a budget amendment on September 3rd of 2024 at 10 a.m. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carried.
That's all that I have for the board today.
So it's not on the agenda, but I have a question, Lisa, and maybe you can answer this. In my time here, I don't remember during budget season. So I read the paper last week. And needless to say, I was surprised when I seen that the hospital's putting on a $2 million addition. And we have never heard about it. I have not heard about it. Lynn, you might have known about it. But it seems kind of odd to me that we levy and we,
We don't levy. We do not
we,
levy.
no, but it's in the budget. They propose a levy, which is in our budget. But we don't ever hear anything of financials or see anything. They don't come in here at budget time.
They don't have to because it's their levy. It's part of our county levy, just as a school is or a city
Sure.
or a community college. But it's not part of the county budget.
Like other departments would be, or,
Correct.
you know, but it's part of the levy and we usually meet with anybody that part of the levy or part of our budget.
It's their own levy. So we don't.
I know, but
use-
it's part of our budget.
It is not part of our budget. We don't, because we don't
It's
give
just-
money to.
Part of the budget, it's on the.
It's part of the
No,
levy. It's
no,
over
no.
the overall county levy, but it's no
Yeah.
different than a school or a community college or a city. It's part of the levy, but it's not part of our budget. We have nothing to do with the hospital's budget.
Okay, I just thought it was, that we should have been, maybe we should even have a work session sometime with the new CEO or president, I don't know what his title is. I don't think I've ever met him. you know, just to be good neighbors and I know that it's part of our community and when I first started, they come in and propose that the levy could be less when they get up and running and on feet on board and ground's going. So I was just wondering where that stood, I guess. I haven't seen any financials for a long time and I suppose they're published. I don't.
I would assume so.
So just to clarify in my brain a little bit, does the county own us? Do we own the building, the actual physical property, or is that completely autonomous and separate?
You talking about the new
The
hospital?
new hospital,
We have nothing, no ownership at all. That is not ours.
okay.
It's actually, it's owned by the hospital trustees.
I just was trying to, you know, like with MMU and Macokota, it's completely separate and autonomous. But everything, if they ever dissolved or sold, the city got all physical property.
Right.
You know, I didn't know if it was a similar arrangement.
No, it's specifically, it's theirs. It's owned by the hospital trustees.
Good.
That's all that I have for the board today.
Thank you. All right, Luann? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Okay, calendar for this week. At 3 p.m. this afternoon is a Macokota River Watershed Management Authority Executive Committee meeting by Zoom for Don. I'm not sure why the earlier time, but it is at 3 o'clock.
I wasn't really aware of the time change either. I know we talked about trying to be more accessible because they were having trouble getting quorum. And there's gonna be some communication and all of a sudden it's like,
There it is.
I'm not available at 3 o'clock to run a meeting today.
Also, tonight at 6 o'clock is Jackson County Economic Alliance meeting. Here in Macokota or by Zoom also for Don. Wednesday, August 14th at 9 a.m. It's Mike's turn on KMAQ's Just Talk show at 9 a.m. At 1 p.m., it's a 0 to 5 and 60 minutes board meeting by Zoom for NIN. And at 4 o'clock is a Veterans Affairs Commission meeting downstairs for any of you that want to attend that. I will be out of the office all day tomorrow. I'm back on Thursday. Thursday, August 15th at 9 a.m. is the Housing Trust Fund meeting in Dubuque or by Zoom for NIN. And last I heard, they didn't have a quorum for that yet, so. At 6 o'clock Thursday night is Limestone Bluffs RC&D and they're meeting in Mechanicsville at this time, and that's for Don.
I will be going to that, and I'm also gonna stop over there and see there was that email floating around from the guy with the burnt windmills and stuff by Mechanicsville. I have a meeting to meet with him and take a look and kind of look at some photos and stuff to kind of
Sure.
visualize it a little better.
Monday, August 19th. There's nothing for Friday, the 16th. So Monday, August 19th at 1:30 p.m. is a Waste Authority of Jackson County meeting at the transfer station for Mike. At 3 p.m. is a Regional Governing Board meeting in Davenport for Jack and for Nin is the alternate for that. 6 o'clock Monday night is Together We Build board meeting for Don. And at 7 o'clock is the Together We Build steering committee for Nin. Those are both at the new Together We Build building. 7 o'clock Monday night is also the zoning commission meeting downstairs in the community room for any of you that want to attend that. And I think on the agenda is a discussion about the wind ordinance. Quite a few people asked me about that. Our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, August 20th at 9 a.m. And that afternoon, and I think actually it's at 5 o'clock, Mike, is the Isaac's board meeting in Des Moines for you. So it's from 5 to 6 last I checked. And also at 5 o'clock is the Conservation Board meeting. I don't have any other information on that. That's to be announced for any of you that want to go that, but I know it's going to be a travel night for some of you, so. I think that is all the business I have for you today.
Okay, any questions for Luann? Okay, thanks, Luann. And did I hear someone say that John would not be available today? He was, I seen the email that he would be next week.
Yeah.
I did get a report from that Jeff had called right before our meeting and said that he had talked to John this morning. And it sounds like the whatever portion we're still waiting for is the electronic or the IT portion for the locks and such in the jail part of it. Is going to be here shortly, or they could be. So, talked about the open house again. I said, well, we're not gonna really rush that for next week, so. We'll get more news on that when he hears back from John and how soon or how close we can do that, but we want to set up that open house when we're ready to roll and everything's working, I think, you know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I stopped by and talked to John a little bit yesterday just because I know he was gone, but I stopped by the jail twice last week and there was nobody there. Well, the one time there was an Infinity satellite guy there, otherwise. And I was just trying to make sure we were staying on task. I know he was up in Powashik County putting together bids or whatever for another jail, but I just wanted to make sure that we weren't falling further and further behind. Cause I ain't gonna say I wasn't disappointed to see it both times. It was rather a ghost town in there, so.
Well, we hope, and we're hoping that somebody's on top of it, that we get this thing completed and open, so. I mean, it's close, it's real close, you know, we were in there and toured it a couple times and. It's just the finishing touches and it's honestly, it's. The situation where it's supply chain again, comes into play a lot of times, so. Hopefully we get her going. We have a work session later, is that correct?
So I did send out the email to have this discussion. Will Cornelius would like to join the board for the discussion today. When I talked to him originally, it was scheduled for 10:30, then with John canceling, I said, how about 10? So I don't know if we can make a phone call to see where Will is at. I assume that he still wants to participate today. I did tell him 10 o'clock. I didn't know we'd go so fast there this morning.
Did we have other participants that were coming in?
Nobody else has gotten back to me on that. I don't know if there's somebody else representing the other side. I don't know. I haven't been contacted.
Well, Amber knows about it anyway, and
I did notify Amber. It's my understanding that she is out of the area today. So I don't know if she asked that someone else attend. I don't know. But I made the two contacts. I heard back from Will.
I just texted him to see if he was available now by chance.
Okay.
so, it's part of our regular meeting, is that correct?
I would, yes, because, and I left it that way in case you wanted to make a motion.
Okay, so is there any other reports or board commission reports? I mean, we did have an RTA meeting last week. Thought it went fairly well. Things are on task for the RTA. Actually, it was a very good year for the RTA. I mean, there's a lot of things involved in it, of course, subsidizing and whatnot, but they're going through the contract stages. Offer was made to the drivers and I think they're waiting for a response now, so. Actually, that's been working really well, so hopefully, and yeah, I don't know if you can add to that. You guys were both at the meeting and participated, so.
That was a major portion of it was the contract for drivers.
Are
They're
they
still looking for drivers.
Are they still holding off for how much longer before they name an official director? Is in Chandra just gonna stay in?
No, they're not gonna start for the ECIA direction or director position. I mean, for ECIA in general, they won't probably start till closer to the first of the year. They thought that timing would be a lot better. I think there's a lot of discussion that needs to be had there as far as interviewing in the board and whoever may be participating, I hope so. Yeah, that's not gonna go on until closer to the first of the year. The last I heard. I don't know if there's any other reports from anyone. So we'll take a short recess at this time. Okay, at this time, we will
Well, can you
reconvene.
hear us?
I can hear you now.
Yes,
Are
we
you muted?
Can't hear you.
Just a second.
How about now?
He's not muted on our side. Is
We're
it your
not very-
computer, Will?
Very good lip readers.
I'm not,
Again, I don't
It
know.
does not show that he's muted. Okay.
No, I should say he's not muted on our side.
I don't know what to tell you. It seemed to work before.
Yeah, we did.
Now you can hear me now?
Or somewhere.
Go,
I guess the main thing, Will, can you hear us? Yeah.
go back to that, where you got the, go to the
where
audio
you go here?
mic over there, no, to the far left.
Well, I just wanted to see. He said he's not muted on his end. Okay.
Go to, no, bring that back up, go to the far left, that microphone.
Here.
Bartlett.
What about now?
'Cause that's always something when we have our 911.
Yeah, that was just one time. I don't remember what we did.
Open that up again.
I would have Will call in on the phone. And put him on speaker.
You might have called the Zoom phone number, then he should be in the meeting.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Will that work better? Can you hear us?
Yes, I should probably mute or turn off my there. Okay.
This needs to be. Well,
Maybe right.
Yeah.
put it on-
Makes
put it on
longer.
by you because it's close to the mic.
Yeah.
All right, where there's will,
Okay.
there's a way.
Okay, so we will reconvene our meeting at this time. And we are here to discuss the Together We Build funding agreement that we had proposed with Together We Build. And I guess who wants to start? So I guess Will Cornelius has joined us via the internet, and he is here by cell phone. Can you hear us okay, Will?
I can hear you great, Mike.
Okay, thanks. So, the initial agreement, was with Together We Build, is that correct? So we allocated,
Well, we
25,
have to specify together, we build steering committee or the LLC or the Inc. LLC is the steering committee, the fundraising aspect. Inc. is the advisory board that oversees the operations of the Together We Build now. So the initial agreement was with, or the revolving loan fund was with Inc. Inc.
Correct. Yeah.
and
Those who came in to ask for additional funding was not Inc.
It was at the LLC, correct? Well, Will was part of that, so.
so Will is representing LLC or Inc.
I can do both or either, but technically being the president of the LL or the Inc., I guess I'm most representative of that.
Okay, so I guess what we're trying to determine is where our contribution goes and what it's gonna be used for, is that correct?
Correct. At the end of the day, I don't think it really matters which entity it goes into because we're working hand in hand and there's money that gets transferred back and forth. Both are 501c3 eligible. The LLC through the Fair Board or the Community Foundation. The Inc. is 501c3 certified, which I don't think matters to you guys. So it really doesn't matter which comes through to us. And to answer your question, what's it going to be used for is we've still got a few bills coming in to pay here for the landscaping and the audiovisual system and a couple other things. But at the end of the day, the big thing is that we got to pay back the loan for the revolving loan fund is the other expense.
And with Inc. signing for the revolving loan fund, is LLC committed to paying back the debt or fundraising to help do that? Or?
Yeah. I mean, there's no document that says that, but with Amber and myself being part of the executive team on the LLC, and I mean, Dean and Scott and Rick, I mean, they're not going anywhere. We all verbally committed to making sure we get this thing fundraised before that group dissolves.
Well, and that was our thought process when we were in the budget season, is that we could help out a little bit by committing this per year, I believe it was for 4 years. But like you said, Will, I think we're all working for the same cause here, and it should be used for the best purpose, whether it be paying the bills or maintenance or what it should be. I don't know who's in charge of that. Is there a auditing side of it that you're concerned about? As far as who, what, where, how?
We cannot make a donation. That's why I put down, my number one thing was to assist the Together We Build Inc. committee in maintaining the county building and the repayment of the revolving loan fund annual payment. So that's the way that the state auditors will look at this. When you gave the money to this, what are they gonna use it for? So that's what I put down. I did send this to John Keys for review. He wanted me to add on the number 3, Together We Build Inc. agrees to use the 25,000 to maintain the county building and the repayment of the revolving loan fund annual payment. He had me add that. Otherwise, everything that I had done, John Keys agreed with.
Is there a reason why it's only for 1 year instead of the 4 years?
Because we'll do another, next year's
Each year.
another fiscal year, so we'll do another agreement next year.
Okay.
Just like we do the libraries. That's an annual thing. We do an annual agreement with them.
Okay.
So is everybody in agreement that this works?
When would the first disbursement, if it's paying twice, when would the disbursements go out?
We paid today, so 2 weeks. We'll pay 12/5 in 2 weeks. So it's gonna be paid to Inc.
Yep.
And you want Inc. Will to sign this. Just so I make sure that is that correct? Okay,
Will, you're okay with that?
You gotta speak with, okay.
Well, I don't know. I can't tell who you guys are talking to, if it's me or Lisa. So
Sorry.
I didn't want to speak out of turn. My question is, so it's 100,000 over 4 years. Our understanding originally was going to be 4 payments. How did it get split into 8 payments, or what's the thought process there?
so they allocated $25,000 a year, and we're just gonna make it in 2 payments. So 12/5 and 12/5.
Yeah, that's my question is why did it get split into 2 payments
And
instead
you're
of just
asking-
making one lump?
And you're asking because the loan repayment is December of 24, is the first payment is for 75,000.
Right. And we've got other outstanding bills that need to be paid. So between fundraising, we're still actively sourcing donations, but we need about 100, I think Rick said about $100,000 here by the end of the year to make sure everything gets paid that's due.
Is there a reason why we allocate it in 2 payments, or, I mean,
That's
it's,
because we've always,
it's
that's your
budgeted.
decision. If that's what if you want us to allocate the entire
I
25,000.
don't know that we ever specifically said that when we budgeted it, that it would be out.
That's traditionally what we've done with these, is we've made 2 payments. But if you want me to make it in 1, I'll change the agreement and I'll make it in 1.
But my question is, can we make that payment now? I mean, I know you've always said we have to wait till we get some tax money
I'll have to
coming in.
look. Yeah,
So maybe if we are going to do the 1 lump sum, do we have to wait until maybe closer to December
Or at least towards the end of September.
after we
because
get
that's
tax money in to,
we're in the very early stages of sending taxes right now. They got sent to the printers last Friday. We haven't done the final approval yet, so we don't have any tax money rolling in. We will have tax money rolling in within the next couple of weeks. And that's why we tell people that they can't make big purchases, until we get tax money coming in. So it's up to you. I mean, if you want me to make it 1 payment, we'll make it 1 payment.
I do know that the revolving loan $75,000 payment. I had you check to see, because I know the agreement was signed in December. I thought maybe the disbursement wasn't until March, but she said the disbursement actually went out the 21st of December, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Mistaken, so that's when the first $75,000 payment will be, so. In an effort to help make the payment, I would be in support of a single donation per year.
Yeah, I don't know that it makes any difference to me because I
I'm
mean,
fine
it's
with-
budgeted.
I'm fine
Budgeted
with
and
that.
it's okay, I just.
So.
But again, are
Would
we
make
saying it
till-
needs to be?
Would it be all right if we do the, like, the
November.
September 30th or October? Would that be all right, Will?
I think so. I think as long as we get it here this fall before December, it should be fine. I mean, I totally get that you got to cash flow it. So if we need to get some tax money in before you guys can make that payment, that'd be great. I just, back to Don's point, I think the biggest concern is if the second half of that first 25 doesn't come in till after into 2025, that doesn't help us get this loan repaid, which means we still got to do it, but that's kind of the purpose as stated in the document. So if we could get it by December, that would be great.
I say let's move forward and get it through them by, you say, the middle of November.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
A motion and second to disperse the Together We Build allocation as presented.
By November.
15, whatever. I don't know where our check cutting falls into that.
Yeah.
I guess I could map it out every 2 weeks, but.
And how much are you talking?
The 25,000. By, I would say, November 30th. Is that okay? All those in favor say aye. Aye opposed. Motion carried.
Well, I have one other question, if you don't mind taking the time.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. No, and just thank you for getting that done. I appreciate you guys working with us. So go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, so do you consider the extension office a subletting to Together We Build? Are they subletting the building?
Yeah, I believe the contract, the way the lease is between Together We Build Inc. and the supervisors, and then the contract with the extension would be a sub. Oh, I've got it right here. Let me.
Okay, so then are you subleasing to the Fair Board?
The Fair Board is not a sublease. That is a management agreement because they are not really occupying any of the space. I mean, they've got that Fair Board office they can use, but they're not leasing the building. They're just managing the rentals. So that's
So
a different.
I have a copy of a property management agreement, but I don't have it signed. Can you send me a signed copy of that?
Yeah, I've got it here somewhere.
Okay,
Wrong folder.
okay.
I'm headed to Macoka here shortly. I could stop in and drop
I
it
just
off
want to make sure
too.
we have coverage.
Oh.
I mean, I have it right here, but I just want to make sure for insurance purposes, that's what I was looking at, and if you don't want me to have it,
No, I'm just curious, because it's between Together We Build Inc. and the Fair Board.
I'm just looking from the county's lease portion,
Okay.
and it says this policy should be endorsed to include the landlord as an additional insured.
Okay.
So I'm just making sure that we're crossing our Ts and dotting our Is.
Okay.
That's all that I have
And
questions.
he
on.
did show you, I didn't know that you seen it as
Oh, I
the
did.
signed copy.
Okay.
Just scan it and email it, otherwise we got it.
That's fine, if you can just, yep.
It's public
That'll
record.
that'll tie all my loose ends up.
Cool.
Anything else, Will?
No, I don't think so. Appreciate it. And I will scan and email this to you guys here right away.
Yep, okay.
And then, Will, I would say the next time you're in town, would you sign this agreement?
Is it ready to sign now?
I'll have to make a few modifications, but it can be.
Within an
Well,
hour. it should be.
I'm just saying, I've got an appointment in Macoka at 11, so I'm gonna be leaving here real shortly and I could stop by the courthouse on my way there.
Stop into Luann and I'll have it here for you to sign.
Okay, I'll see you guys in half hour or so.
Yep,
Thanks, Will.
have a good day.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you. Bye.
By phone.
You said that.
Phone.
Okay, so I think that concludes the agenda portion. Anything else before the board this morning?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye opposed. Motion carried, meeting adjourned.